It does. I mean, I think it's with anything that you do. It requires you busting your ass. It requires taking 10 times the amount of action you normally would, because you're not going to go anywhere just sitting still.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but not a lot is handed to me, and probably not a lot was handed to you.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Podcast. This is Matt Teifke and Alex Kaufman. It is Friday. Andrew and I had a great day yesterday. We were looking at all kinds of projects. We looked at our first project that I saw the system and the ecosystem working. We helped an owner buy a fourplex. We are doing the construction and remodeling, full on $200,000 remodel, and we're managing the property as well. So it's like, man, it's all come together. It's beautiful to see. And the more important thing is this is the first day I've ever seen Alex Kaufman have some coffee. So I've got some big hopes for today. I think there's going to be a big deal closing. Alex isn't a big coffee guy, but for some reason he had a cup of coffee this morning. What's up with that, Alex? He threw me off. He's like, yeah, I'll take some coffee.
I just didn't want to be rude. So I don't drink coffee and actually feel weird right now from drinking coffee. But Abe had showed up to the meeting with 3 coffees, and I also don't eat breakfast either. I try and, even if I'm hungry, I try and eat afternoon. And so to not be rude, I drank the coffee and ate the breakfast taco.
And in turn, a big deal is coming.
Maybe, hopefully.
But yeah, it's everything's going great. Today maybe we just give everyone an update on what we have going on. A lot of moving parts. We've built a good team. We're constantly trying to get the right people, and this big belief that we don't want to and we can't do everything on our own. And in order to have a big company, which is our goal, start in Austin, do multiple markets in Texas, and then do multiple states, we see the value of having the right people, and we don't want to just keep everything to ourselves. And we practice what we preach every day. We do this with our business entities. We've got the branches of our company: construction, remodeling. We're going to even get into development, management, brokerage, coaching, leasing, lending, wholesaling. And it sounds crazy, but all of these partners that we have are operating the businesses, and they're sharp. And they've been doing it for a long time as well. So couldn't be more excited. And even on the same token, whenever we're buying properties, we're all about having people that own the properties with us. We've had 2 or 3 deals lately that we've done that we could have easily bought on our own. But we stick to this belief in having partners, different values. And, perfect example, our office building, we brought on 2 partners. So there's 4 of us. And one of the partners got us an owner finance from his grandma, and we got amazing terms. I mean, our down payment was $7,000 each, which probably would have been $14,000 each if we went hard money. So it's really cool to see it coming together. And Alex and I literally just left a meeting with another one of our partners that we're buying a mobile home park / small retail commercial up front in South Austin on Burleson Road. And, we could buy it ourselves as well, but we see tremendous value in this other partner and what we can do in the future. And even at that meeting, it was really cool to we were talking about our roles, and Abe's like, I'm going to handle this, and that. And I'm like, this sounds awesome. We're literally not doing much here. And, we are going to do work, right? Obviously going to help them out and we're going to handle the rent collections and dealing with the tenants, which is going to be a lot. But he's handling the permitting, the construction, the budgets, the bids, overseeing everything. And this is probably the second coolest property that I have in mind right now, other than that one in Llano that I've been talking about. But just super excited and a lot going on, and we just kind of want to give you guys that update. And I'm kind of rambling, but it's just I'm passionate about it, and passionate about getting more people to come help us and keep growing and keep pushing. So tons of exciting things going on. We're same time we always talk about, we're in such a good market. I told Alex earlier, I just feel like this is a dream in a lot of ways. Also got my mom now cold calling 20, 30 people a day. And my dream and my goal is to get in my role and do what I think I'm best at, which is networking, some new ideas, building relationships. And while I'm doing that, to have all of our entities firing on all cylinders. That's the dream, is like a million things going on at once, all the ideas and concepts that we know are important to find deals, to make money, to add value, and then just be doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot there. But you got any thoughts on any of that, or anything to add? I just felt like just jumping in for a second.
No, I mean, it's a lot of stuff is starting to come together, and a lot of these entities are in their infancy phases right now, and so it is kind of chaotic, and they all do require a lot of attention to get up moving and off the ground. But I think that in the future, when everything is firing on all cylinders, we'll probably just look up and be like, whoa.
Yeah, that's the dream. And it takes a lot of work to get there.
Yeah.
And still, man, I still have people call. I had a call on the way to our meeting and a call on the way back with people that are just asking me. One guy's an insurance guy asking me how to work on the business and not in the business. The other guy literally just told me that he had crazy medical thing happen with his brain, and it took him out of work completely, and he can only work for 1 hour a day now. And he's trying to get into being an agent. He was actually doing construction for a long time, like swinging the hammer, and now he has to adapt. And so there's just so many things out there in the world, and so many people that you just start helping, and things come full circle, and just having these conversations every day. And I'm always evolving as how I view things and think about things, but it's special, having you on the team, having Andrew on the team, and it just feels like we're really. And it's funny, man, we've been doing it for a long time, but it really does feel like we're just getting started.
Yeah, well, it's always something new, too. I like that feeling of getting started on something new.
Yeah, dude, I hate the feeling of not having that. I was literally thinking last night while I was laying down, I'm like, what else can we get into?
What next?
Yeah, it's like we're not even started on these other things, but like, and I think it's good. And, what I feel like I've seen on a lot of businesses is innovation and new ideas is critical. Simple. I think about random stuff, but like Chipotle, for an example, like they were the king at one point of this QSR, quick serve restaurant concept, and I think they're still doing good, but like they didn't innovate that much. Like nothing's really changed.
They added nacho cheese.
there you go.
To the menu. I think they added brisket to the menu.
Yeah.
So they've innovated.
But it's like there's these new concepts, and everything's changed with COVID, obviously. But Kava and Noon, Verts that came out. It's like, why wouldn't Chipotle? And maybe I'm just totally missing it, but why wouldn't Chipotle open a Mediterranean version of what they have and a breakfast taco place of what they have, and keep out some of the competitors? So yeah, just constantly thinking about. How to be innovative,
Well, and on the point of innovation, so a new thing in the food industry that Gustavo actually pointed out to me, or he took he added to his story on Facebook, was instead of like the QSR like you were talking about, in this in the COVID environment, what they're doing is having almost like, I guess what it looked like was, how like you go to the food court in the mall, but it was kind of like warehouse style with these places, and they're all just distributing out food to go, and like someone comes in there and they can bring out all these 10 different restaurants food to go to the customers, and it's all from this one distribution center. Like that type of innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel like if you're not innovating, then someone else is. And I try to want to be competitive with, what we're trying to attack and how we're attacking it. And so I've also seen a ton of businesses fail. People always talk about like nobody thought, Sears would fail or, whatever it may be. Blockbuster. Who knows? Maybe some of these big airline companies.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I used to. I haven't in a while. I just fresh off of not listening to Rogan. I listen to every Rogan episode usually, and now I'm just like, I got more important things. Maybe not more important. I just have things to do because I really value learning from what they're always talking about on Rogan.
We need to get you to the gym at 5.
Yeah.
Are you down to try it?
The gym is the one aspect that I need to be hitting up.
Are you down to try it?
Yeah, I'm down. Definitely.
The goal is not to get jacked and
just be
a
healthy.
bodybuilder. It's just like
it's always been on my list. It's something I think about every day, and I know it's important. I just have always failed in thinking that the only thing that matters is business. But I know it's important. I get it. Like it's something I know that I have to do and I will do, and maybe this is that time to get there.
What I think you'll be, and the only reason I said this is that could be a time you listen to podcasts, but I think you'll find that this is a tool to be more effective in business.
I know that. I mean, you just feel better, have better meetings, look better, live longer. I'll do it.
But anyways, the reason I brought up podcasts was, we can try it. Come join me if you want.
I will.
Or go on
tomorrow.
Long runs with Andrew. Every day.
And long runs with Andrew. I gotta work my way up. Guy's running 10 miles.
There's this.
Seen him with the shirt off?
Yeah.
It's insane.
There's this podcast called Business Wars that I happen to come across, and you listen to it, and it talks about how two battling companies like say Netflix or Blockbuster or Chipotle and whoever, or two technology companies or like Gibson and Fender. What separated the two companies that were competing and the innovation that set them apart.
Oh, that's really cool.
It is really cool. But anyways, check that out.
Yeah, no, that's super cool.
Because it is interesting to see what separates the truly great companies from those who got stagnant and failed.
Yeah. It's so crazy what you can listen to and learn. We have a podcast, obviously, but hundreds of people with podcasts that have people come on every day. And, I go on a lot of these ones as well. And I'm like, man, if I listen to everybody who came on this show, there's probably so much I would learn. And a lot of times these podcasts are new and they're getting started. And, you might not think of people as having big names, but they could be super smart. They could be a big name later. That they don't have to be a big name, but you can learn a tremendous amount from all these people that are doing stuff, and it's just a function of where you're putting your time, I guess. I'm always adapting. Like for first 5 years of my career, it was learn everything I possibly could. Then the second half of it has been network. And at some point, maybe I totally shift, and I'm like, all right, I already got the network. Now I'm finding deals all the time. I don't know. But it is interesting to think of it in like seasons in some ways.
Levels, seasons.
Yeah, yeah. What I like, I constantly talk about this, is how to be different. And it excites me. It doesn't excite me to do the same thing that anyone else is doing. And I definitely don't feel like we're even close to that with our business. But my day-to-day is like, I want to be the best networker there is. And like run my networking like an actual business. Andrew got a glimpse of this yesterday, like having all kinds of conversations all the time and like staying in touch with these people. Like I definitely, I've learned, I used to not, but now I do a lot better. And so it's like, I'm treating networking like it's a business. And like, it used to be like, how can I help you? That's how I ended the meeting. And now I don't even ask that question because I actually ask other questions during the meeting to figure out what are their challenges, and then I just help them based on that. It's like, how can I help you? Like, I don't know. Or, I need a banker. And that's like one little thing. That's what it always comes down to. is like when you ask that question, it's like most of the time it's one small thing, and then it's like you can do that and be done. But I can learn a lot more by asking where they're struggling, what are their challenges, and then I can figure out how to help them based on what I see.
Find something that they didn't even know they needed.
And and that's like, to me, that's a huge learning, and that's what it is. These networking meetings is like, how do I constantly evolve to be better at it? And the follow-up and, understanding what they need, and it's pretty cool because I feel like I'm just getting better and better at it.
Do you bring that to every aspect of your life in terms of if you're going to do something, try and do it the best you can?
Yeah,
whether it's something as simple as like, if you and Lexi split chores on the weekend, or if you are reading a book and taking notes, or if you are
no, I don't. I know that I should. The way I go about things is like, I have like a couple goals, and like those goals that I have, I'm all in. And so like, I used to be like, all right, every step I take, what's the most efficient place to put my foot, or every note is like perfect. And that's a good way to go about things. But the way I do it is like, if I'm committed to going to the gym, then I'm not going to touch anything bad. I'm not going to eat anything bad. And sometimes that's a failing strategy.
It's easier said than done.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm not going to the gym. It's like business, like networking. Like if I'll get on, like I'll go share our Facebook video or our YouTube videos, and I have to share it to every page that I can, and I can't share it to one. I have to share it to 100, and I just have to like.
So like that type of thing. Like say you, because this is something I experience with a lot of things that I do is, say you we just released a new video, and you get on Facebook, and maybe it doesn't ever come here because you don't stop, but has there been a point where maybe you shared it to 2 groups, and then something happened and you had to get off your phone, or George started crying, and it's like, I have to get back on there as quickly as possible to get to the remaining 98.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And it's like if you don't do it, or maybe you had to sit down and eat dinner, or something happened, for me with stuff like that, it like just circles in my mind until it gets done.
Yeah, it's I think a big part of this came back to my baseball career. Like I was a good baseball player, above average, not great or anything, but I worked really, really hard. And it really started in high school. My freshman year, I played baseball my whole life, and Round Rock's a pretty good baseball city, very competitive, and a lot of people are in the pros that came from Round Rock. And so my freshman year, I didn't make the baseball team. And it was, I cried. It was really depressing because that's all I'd ever done. I wasn't that great of a football player, but I was good at baseball. And so I didn't make the team. And then I literally spent the next year just doing everything I could to prepare for the next year. And I mean, like obsessed. Like every night I was running sprints. Every day I was training for baseball. And then the next year I did make the team. And it was like, this is like a random story, but I remember at tryouts they were like, and this was even the guys that were older than us, and we started at the foul line, and he said run to the corner and run back, and it's a race. And it wasn't a sprint, it wasn't that long distance, but it was an endurance thing, and I won. And it was like I had prepared so much. I beat the guys that are older than me, faster than me, all that, and I beat them. And it was like, to me, it was like such a huge moment. Nobody remembers that I won that except me. But the validating thing was I literally thought to myself in this whole process, because I didn't know if I was going to make the team, and it just kept me pushing harder and harder and harder. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I was like, God, like I want to make this team. I was like talking to God and like trying to get spiritual. And my thing was, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get the outcome I want. And I believed, and now believe even more, that if you do that, you will get what you want. if you do everything in your power to get where you want to go, I believe you'll get there. And so that's how I've approached a lot of things, is like, if I'm going to build this business, I'm going to be obsessed with it and do everything I possibly can. And I was also reading a book. I'm reading an LBJ book, and that was his philosophy. It's like, if he literally had that statement. It's like, if he wants to get elected for senator or this or that, if he does everything he possibly can every day, then he'll get there. And it's no stones unturned. And so that experience of making the team just validated it for me. And then I kind of just have stuck with that for whatever my goals would be at the time.
Are there certain things that are important to you on a business in terms of your performance and the way you show up and do things that maybe you think about, maybe you don't? Like, for example, with me, that are really important to you, whether you consciously or unconsciously think about it. Like Andrew and I, before we started this podcast, we're talking about being on time. Mm-hmm. Like if I have a meeting, or if I am supposed to be on a call, or if I'm supposed to show up here for this, and I tell somebody I'm going to be there at 9:45, I have to show up there at a minimum on time or early. Mm-hmm. And if I don't, it really bothers me. Mm-hmm. And I think it really relates back to, with me, more doing what I say I'm going to do and acting with integrity. Like if I tell you I'm going to do something, mm-hmm. I have to do it, mm-hmm. Regardless of what it looks like on my end. Yeah,
I agree 100%. I used to, and I always want to respect people's time. My world is so weird that there's some unknowns, and so I'm late sometimes. I used to get really stressed when I'm late. I don't so much anymore. I'm 5-10 minutes late, because I might show up to a meeting and I might be on another call, and I'm not gonna just cut that guy off. I'm gonna try to finish it up. But yeah, 100% on do what I say I'm gonna do. Like if I tell you I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make sure that it gets done. I'm gonna accomplish that task. And I think I can be better on a lot of aspects, but trying to think what would be most important to me. It's more just like really having people's backs, and obviously being a man of integrity is huge. I don't know. I can't think of.
Well, but like, what does that look? What do you mean by having people's backs? What does that look like?
Like I'll literally do it. Like if you're, I'm a foxhole guy. Like you want me in your, if I'm your friend, like you want me in your foxhole, I'll do whatever it takes to help us get what we need to do done. No matter what, right? You've seen that. There's been times when you didn't have capital and we had a deal. Alex, I got you, right? And you've done that to me, vice versa. And that goes a long way. Like not a lot of people do that, So it's like, we're in this together. Whatever we need to get done, we'll do it. I'll go run my head through that fence. Really, it's just like, yeah. And when you have people that feel the same way, it's like there's nothing you can't accomplish. So hopefully, just maybe getting that across to people. It's like, if I need to go drive to San Antonio for one little thing, because it's a partnership that we're in, and that's what needs to happen, I'll go do it. So it's just, I guess, having that no problems, only solutions. That's it. Yeah. I don't want to talk about problems. There's no problems, There's bigger problems in life. I see, people complain about all kinds of stuff, but it's like, I just do what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Because I feel the same way. And I think that there are certain things like that set people or partnerships or businesses or business partners apart from the others that aren't willing to do that type of stuff, regardless of what it looks like on a personal level, right? Like if, like you said, having somebody's back regardless of what it looks like on your personal level. Like maybe that drive to San Antonio interrupted George's picking him up from daycare or something, right? Mm-hmm. Which it probably did, or could.
Yeah.
Or I think stuff like that and kind of approaching business and partnerships and your relationships with people in a selfless manner, as like a team player and for the team, and not looking out for you as an individual, is really what drives things to the next level.
Yeah, and just no quit. You know, I believe anything I set my mind to, I can and I will accomplish. I don't mind rolling my sleeves up. You know, it's simple little things like, you know, running a half Ironman. I set my mind to it and I did it. And I believe right now I'm out of shape like crazy, but I believe I have the mind. This is how I think. Like, I have friends that are Navy SEALs, right? Robert McLeod. You guys are hardcore. Like, I believe this about both of y'all as well. Like, I 100% believe if I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, I would definitely be a Navy SEAL, because I will literally die before I don't accomplish what I want to. That's how I think about things. And a lot of people are like, I can't be a Navy SEAL. I'm like, fuck that. I definitely could be a Navy SEAL. I don't want to be a Navy SEAL, you know. But maybe that comes back to that baseball. Like, whatever I set my mind to, I'm going to do that.
It's a different.
Do you feel that way?
I do.
Yeah.
I have.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people are like, I could never be a Navy SEAL. I'm like, my mind's like, yeah, you could. You just don't want it.
It's all mindset.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think anyone could be a Navy SEAL if they want it bad enough. Nobody believed Robert would be a Navy SEAL. I did.
You did or did not?
I did. I bet money on it with a lot of people. A lot of people owe me money, thousands of dollars. I was like, I will. You know, you find someone like that. That's the thing, is you find those people that are like that, and you do not bet against them.
Your brother's another one of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like if Andrew tells me, people that have this mindset, this is what I want to do, I wouldn't bet against that. So having that with partners on business level, and you both have the same goal, or you all three, or you all five have the same goal, then you're probably going to do 10 times more than you wanted to.
It's interesting though, because like I said, it is just mindset, and I don't think that like you said, since I changed my life and went on a different trajectory than I was on, that has been the result. Is like, if I want to do something, if I set my mind to it, I get it done regardless of what it looks like, dude. And it seems like a lot of people aren't willing to get to that point of no
maybe
return.
They don't want it as bad, you know. But, and I don't, I gotta say this, like, I respect the Navy SEALs. Obviously, I'm not diminishing what they do. It's mindset, right? And I in high school, I had a average grade point average. Like, I was not supposed to get into Texas A&M and graduate with a master's degree. Like, that was not what was supposed to happen.
I had less than what is it? They go like, I guess 3 point whatever. Mine was less than 1.
Yeah, yours was bad. But
what was yours? 2.5,
2.7, something like, 2.7. But my point was, and I, people like you are the ones that are really, really successful. Like, that's just how Gary Vee is like that. But back to the A&M thing, it's like, dude, I wasn't supposed to get into College Station. Like, I willed my way into making that happen, literally. And I wasn't even, when I got there, I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? I'm not going to pass. I willed my way through that, I made friends. I learned. I went in the teacher's office. But I strongly believe, like, I have a master's degree in real estate, and, like, I'm not a great student, but I did everything I possibly could to graduate, and I actually did very well. I had a really good GPA, and I won a huge competition, won $1,000 on a real estate project that we did, self-storage. And it's like, it was cool, man. I didn't feel like I was supposed to be there, but I did everything I possibly could to make it through. I don't have family that have master's degree, or that, like, taught me this stuff, and it's not about me. It's just the mindset, right? Like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think that is the most important thing, is your mindset. Like, are you going to give up, or are you at 40%, and are you willing to push it much, much further?
Yeah.
To get the desired result and to achieve what you're looking to achieve.
Yeah, and we have that. I know that we have that. And if you have, and that's I actually believe all of our partners have that. Strongly believe that, they're our partners for a reason. So, and my brother will validate it, right? My brother was a special forces. Like he'll tell you that I could do it if I wanted to, and he would say the same for you guys. And maybe that's rare. I mean, it definitely is rare, but I think people can get there. It's just like, do they really want that, or do they just think they want that? Because when I say I want it, I definitely do.
Yeah, Andrew's smiling over there. I don't know, man. So how do you, in working in the recovery industry and working with, drug addicts and alcoholics, so that's a life or death errand here, with alcoholism and drug addiction. It's life or death. We're not talking about coaching someone to go buy a rental. It's like trying to help somebody save their life. And it's so hard to change someone's mindset. And I don't think you can. They have to do it, right? Obviously, it has to come from within. Someone has to. I don't think you just wake up one day and you're like, yeah, I have this mindset now. I don't know if it comes through suffering, like not making the baseball team. That was like a form of suffering where you're like, that will never ever happen to me again. I will do whatever it takes to make sure I
can't go to tryouts next year and not see my name on that list.
Right.
That cannot happen.
Like I think for me, it was through drug addiction and not achieving everything I wanted to, and then finally getting sober and saying, I have wasted, this is how I viewed it, I wasted 21 years of my life. I'm not ever wasting another second. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go out and do everything I have to get what I want. Mm-hmm. And nobody's going to give it to me. Mm-hmm. And so I think it probably comes from suffering to where that mindset gets instilled in somebody to a certain extent.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could get really deep with it, and the drug addiction space is a totally different world that I actually don't fully comprehend, But maybe when I think about it, it's like my mom was very intense on me and my brother, and she told us everything to do and how to do it and how to be better. And maybe because I feel very blessed that I picked real estate early, and I was looking at it the same way you just said, but for the rest of my life, like I want to set this up where I'm doing everything I can right now, so I'm never in this other position. And it's like my mom was a military type leader of our family, single mom in the construction business, raising us. Still don't know how she did that, but like maybe I was like, I never ever want someone to ever tell me what to do again, because my mom told me what to do for 18 years. And I'm at that point. Nobody can tell me what to do, because I've busted my ass and I set up my life the way I want to, and that's also why I'm so passionate about getting this out to other people, is because I see how it can change your life. Government can tell me what to do and pay my taxes and all that, but like I can do it. I don't have a schedule to follow. I'm not saying like I'm just independently wealthy. I don't have to ever work again, but I can do things the way I want to, when I want to.
But it's a weird spot to be in, because it's similar in the sense that, talking about the drug addiction world, like yesterday I went up to a treatment center to help somebody out, and it's similar to what you've got going on, because you care so deeply about teaching somebody how to get to that point, right? And I'm sure, you've devoted a lot of emotional and mental and physical energy into trying to help somebody get to that point when they showed a desire of some sort.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, like my thought on the real estate side is like, if you're not gonna go after it, then you don't actually want it. The drug addiction side, like my first thought, and I know this has got to be wrong, is like, if you're still struggling with it, you just don't want it as bad. You just think you don't want to be struggling. And I know that can't be the answer.
So we could dive into all that, but I was really just, if you wanted to, we could. But I was just kind of
sure. Like I'm fascinated with like, because I'm a big believer in like like I said, like I believe wholeheartedly you can accomplish whatever you want. And so I know there's like chemical imbalances and stuff. And so it's like, that's what I said. Like my first thought is you want to be, you want to not be addicted to drugs anymore. Well, then you have to do everything it takes all the time, constant struggle. But it can't be that simple. Like I know that can come off as like I don't care, which is not true. Like I always want to make sure that I never want to be coming across as like I know everything, I have it figured out. I just know what works for me and trying to get that out there. But I just feel like, you don't want to be addicted to drugs. Well, then you don't ever mess with it for 1 second. You stay so far away with it, and you're going to have failures. I don't know. I mean, you tell me, but I just fall back on it all just, making things pretty simple.
So with drug addiction, it's a little different in terms of it is required, when you're in the midst of it, and I could explain. We could go really deep into all this if you want to, but it's not as simple as some might think to just say, today I'm stopping drinking.
Yeah. And I know that, and that's why I said. But like on the flip side, it's like, well, you don't do it.
On the other hand, to get recovered and to stay recovered, it does require a ton of action, right? So whatever you're trying to achieve definitely requires a lot of action. You're not just going to wake up one morning and say, I don't want to do drugs or alcohol anymore, and therefore, it's just going to come into your life. It's to this day. Today's actually 5 years sober.
Is that why you had that coffee?
No. But today's
congrats, man.
Thank you. So today's 5 years sober, and 5 years later, I still take the spiritual action required to stay sober and to live the life that I do. It's not like
so you're doing everything you can every day to not do that.
Yeah. But I don't like painting the picture that it's like a struggle to stay sober, because it's not. I don't wake up every day and think about like, man, if I can just get through the day and stay sober, it's not a struggle. The spiritual way of life that I took on 5 years ago have relieved the struggle. However, daily I maintain that spiritual connection through the prayer and meditation, through, being selfless, through not acting dishonestly, through working through fears, through helping other people. And so it's not a struggle to stay sober, but I do take action on a daily basis to maintain that spiritual connection. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Totally, man. And I mean, I get it. And I know that, like the way I look at it is, you said this in the past, like the reason you got to where you are is because of God, and also because of yourself. Like you actively did what it took to get where you needed to be, and I'm proud of you for that. And I think other people can do the same, but I want it to be very clear. I have so much sympathy, and I know people can be in a dark place, and I've known people, obviously, and I've never struggled with what I would say is like a hardcore drug addiction. My dad had, did, and maybe still does. I don't know. So I don't, I hear you, and I obviously think I have a lot to learn. But the only thing I can say is you fall back on just busting your ass and hard work and long term, and that's at some point that's all you can do. Like if there's something more to it, I mean, then maybe there's nothing you can do about that. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It requires
well, I'm not even saying that I'm right. I'm just expressing how I feel and think. I don't know.
It does. I mean, I think it's with anything that you do. It requires you busting your ass. It requires taking 10 times the amount of action you normally would. Because you're not going to go anywhere just sitting still. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but not a lot is handed to me, and probably not a lot was handed to you. Like
I've been helped out tremendously, but on a day-to-day basis, I mean, my mom blessed me like crazy with showing me how to buy real estate and setting me up when I first started. But I've 1,000,000% done all the work that was required, and never did something that I wish I would have done more. I've done as much as I possibly could.
You've helped me out tremendously. There's a lot of people that help you out along the way, and a lot of opportunities, but it's not like you just get plopped in here and
Still, every day.
Right. Always action. And I think that is absolutely with anything you're trying to do. Same with, staying recovered and staying sober. It takes action.
Mm-hmm.
Faith without works is dead. There's a lot of action required.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's leave them with that message. Just trying to help here, guys. Like I say, man, it's important that you guys know where we're coming from. We have good hearts about this, and we really just want to help any way we can. We all have big dreams and goals, and hopefully no ego is seen here, because I try every day to kill my ego. So I don't want to come off a certain way, but I appreciate everyone tuning in and listening, and always learning every day. You get stuff to learn from everybody.
Sturgill Simpson and Coffee Black. Check them out.
Hope you guys have a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit us with some real questions. We want to get those answered. Give us a call. Austin, Texas. We want to grow multiple markets. We need people. We need all the right people we can get. We can't do this alone. Appreciate your time. Go have a great day.
See y'all next week.
Get it.